Yeah. Well, what color are they? They got stripes? Huh. I'll be darned. I ain't never think. Oh, I gotta go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to WNL Wednesday Night Live. And look who we have again with us this month. Are we lucky or what? How you guys doing up there?
Oh, we're doing great. It's nice and soggy and soaky and all. By the way, I have to say real quick, Jerry Bell, the other comment from Skip, that was actually from me. As co-host, I can actually type stuff in, and for some reason it comes up as Skip. So
what have I said?
I'm going to stop talking about his soaked nuts. That YouTube doesn't like it, and others might be jealous.
I'm looking at it. Must have looked up earlier. I don't know. I don't see it. Or no. Only thing I said was I was doing my Kegel exercise real quick.
Oh yeah.
It was after that.
It was after that one. But anyhow, so sorry, Jerry Bell. that was me.
I don't
not
think he's
Skip.
Offended.
Probably not. No.
There's nobody on my group on this channel that gets offended. If they do, they're on the wrong channel. This is the politically incorrect channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why we're here.
Cheers.
Yeah, speaking of channels, how's Lou Lynn's channel doing? I ain't seen it for a while. I haven't seen a new video or anything for a while.
Actually, she's starting back up.
I've gone away.
She's starting back up in September.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she's going to have a... Ooh. We're starting.
Focus. There you go.
Yeah, she's going to come up with a very corny video at first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's when we were down at your mother's house doing the corn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we were I guess what would you call that? Prepping corn for the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So showing a way to prep corn and all that, and then. After that, she's going to have other winery tours, a lot more recipes on there. So
it depends if my editor works or not.
Yeah, that's me.
What are we cooking that's worth eating?
Actually,
a lot of different things.
She has a lot of really good recipes coming up.
Chicken and noodles?
Chickpea noodle soup.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that.
Hey, you was down here.
Dead air.
Come think about it. And if I remember right, when you came down here and looked all around, you have decided that the Villages is not for you.
Well, I think I like some other places maybe a little better, but we were also traveling with the children, so I was more worried about them than looking at a place that we could retire.
Well, I was going to get into that just a little bit. About 5 minutes of that is what was it about here that just kind of turned you off a little bit?
You?
That's okay. There's whole other sections you can move to.
Yeah.
No, I think we looked at... we were at the Villages and we were at Solavita for a little bit. And I guess the Villages is just so built up. And I come from a very small town, and I just don't know that I'd function in that big atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, but Sue and I's lived in small towns our whole life too, so it's. I've never lived anywhere either where houses were this close. You know, that was kind of to me that was kind of a turn off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get used to that real quick. The way they're built, everybody's living spaces in their house is your next door's garage. So that whatever they're doing over there, I never hear it. The only time I hear anything would be maybe when he's opening his garage door. That's it. And neighbors over next to me the same way. They don't hear nothing over here except maybe our garage door.
Well, my mama always said you wanted a plot of land that was big enough that you could fart outside and your neighbors wouldn't hear it.
That's true. Especially if you got boys. We had 2 boys. If they weren't fighting, they were breaking things or dreaming up stuff to break. Did I ever tell you the story about the time that my youngest boy concreted my pickup truck to the ground?
Now that's awesome.
Real quick, truck driver. This is why I'm going all week, right? So I'm coming home. I got a little farm, not a big one, a little farm, and their responsibility was they didn't really have to mow the grass because I could do it when I got home, but they had to feed the animals. I mean, you just had to make sure they had water and had feed. You got to do that. Yep. Well, my youngest boy would load the feed up on the back of the old pickup truck we had that we drove around the farm to throw hay here or whatever. I'm coming down the road in my semi-truck and my trailer because I pulled it into the side lot there, and that's where I parked it. I see he's out in the field, and I see the trucks out there. And the next thing I know, when I start pulling the truck down the side road of the house, I see him running and getting in the car and taking off. And I thought, what the heck's he doing? Where's he going? And so I go out in the field to get the truck, wondering, why do you leave that out there in the field? It was wet and muddy. The back two tires only two-wheel drive, sunk in the ground because it was like 3,000 pounds of feed in the back of the truck. He didn't think about it. And it sunk to the ground and got stuck. His idea to get unstuck was you need something like gravel to get this thing unstuck. The only thing we had to even come close to gravel was bags of concrete in the garage, what do they call it, sacrete.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He goes out there and he dumps 2 or 3 bags out there and he's spinning the mud and the tires and everything's getting all mixed up and he doesn't mess around fast enough and next thing you know the sacrete sets up. So when I go out there and get this truck, I have to go get my wrecker to pull the ass out of the ground because there was like 3 feet of concrete attached to the rim. Nothing like having boys.
Yep. All right.
So anyway, how's your weather up there? Down here it's been hot and humid, and I know you got a bunch of rain, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we did. It cleared off today.
Yeah, just real quick. I did turn my volume up a little bit because somebody said our volume was low compared to yours, that you're very loud.
Do I need to turn mine down?
Because he has a big mouth.
I left it where you told me to leave it. You said I sounded good right there, so I left it there. And I told you, I said, I feel like I'm too loud.
Okay, yes. So, yeah, Lou Campbell saying you're a bit loud.
Okay, let me turn it down just a little bit. How's that? That, to me, right here seems about normal.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear him?
I can hear him.
Okay.
Don't ask her. Her opinion does not count anymore.
Since when did my opinion ever count with you?
There you go.
I take your opinion over his any day because you're the educated one in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dr. Healthy Home Cooking.
Yeah, and we all know that when he dies early, you're going to be in charge of the estate.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be on your good side. We have guests tonight, and they're with a company called, what's the name of the company, guys?
Paraclete.
That's it. I got it right here. Chris Stout and Morgan Stitchfield of Paraclete Advisors.
Yes.
And there are 3 top things that they do. I had that written down too, and I think I just lost.
They're retirement and asset protection specialists.
Long-term care, legacy planning, and retirement asset protection.
Yes.
Right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. The official title: retirement and asset protection specialists.
Yes.
And you have to say it with the hand.
Yes.
I'm not Italian.
Okay.
Neither are we.
You look Italian. What are you doing?
Oh, moving the microphone closer. They're saying that we're still a little low.
Okay. Does that look better than the brown background?
True.
I think so. It makes my eyes pop.
Okay, I'll leave it there.
Okay.
I want to make your pretty eyes pop.
Yes.
And what else was it we had here to do? Nothing, I guess, until Judy gets on. Well, let's bring the guests on so we can talk to them and convince them of how ignorant we really are.
That shouldn't be hard.
Shouldn't be hard at all.
So we'll bring on Chris Stout and Morgan Stitchfield of Paraclete Advisors.
Yes.
Yay! Now,
well, welcome, gentlemen.
Chris, what state are you in?
I'm in Virginia.
You're in Virginia, and then Morgan's in Colorado?
Yeah.
Colorado.
It skips in confusion.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just always fascinated by this whole thing nowadays where I can visually, like Dick Tracy, man, I can talk to people around the world. And when I was growing up, it was a long distance phone call and I never had enough quarters.
Okay.
Okay, if you'd like to introduce yourself to everybody watching of what you do and everything and how you think it would benefit everybody here, I'll sit back and let you go.
Morgan, you want to start off or you want me?
Sure. Yeah. So first and foremost, thank you guys so much, for having us. We really appreciate it. And, I love how you were saying what we were doing. It was protecting assets. And really it's because that way we can protect your ass. Right. So,
Yeah.
So really, my name, like you guys had mentioned, my name is Morgan Central. I'm here in Colorado. I come from Vermont. I was in the Navy. I was a rescue swimmer in the Navy for about 4 years. Vermont, is not a very opportune state. There's actually, this is my recent check, but there's more cows than people. So there's not a lot going on up there. So joined the Navy, became a rescue swimmer. And then, when I got out, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I was stationed over in Japan for 3.5 of those 4 years. So when I got out, I was just like you, Skip. I found myself in all sorts of confusion, just trying to figure it out. And I just knew that I was in a horrible financial situation. And I started to bartend around the area. I met up with Chris a couple of times, passerby. And then Chris and I, we connected, got invited to a financial seminar, and it changed our lives. And so I just knew from that moment on, all I wanted to do was just figure out how to help people. And, really, what we saw at that seminar changed my life. It was like a 2-day thing. And I just, I couldn't remember everything that it made me or that they said, but I just remembered the way that it made me feel was, oh my gosh, we need more financial education, going through high school, college, and really just out there in general, because we learn more about how isosceles triangles work than how your money works, So, yeah, that led me into the industry. And then, then a couple of years back, Chris and I, we started a company and here we are. So little introduction for you.
Yep. If I was to add anything to that, prior to finding this guy at the bar,
he had a sweet pickup line, by the way.
Yeah, I had figured, that I wanted to do things differently, right? I wanted to contribute somehow. I wanted to help people. My mom was always in nonprofits as I was growing up, and I remember being a little kid and tagging along and volunteering and helping her set up events and things like that. And the funny thing is, when you're at a nonprofit, we love them, but I saw my mom work so hard, right? And she was helping so many people, but the money didn't always end up where it was supposed to go, things like that. And, I got kind of passionate about teaching people about money once I found this industry. And Morgan and I together now have almost 2 decades worth of experience in the financial industry. But it really goes into helping people, right? The establishment of the financial industry is kind of like this massive, big ship, if you can imagine, that's very set in their ways. They have this big old army that's done it a certain way for a long time. And we like to bring old principles into new strategies, because as you guys can tell over the last few years, the very reason you guys started this podcast is because a lot of things have changed. We have new problems that we're facing, especially people in retirement, right? And going into retirement. And so we kind of found a niche around helping people to make sure that they're not going to outlive their money, making sure that they're going to leave a strong legacy, right? Because I don't know if you guys knew this, but Uncle Sam taxes dead people the most because they complain the least. And then also making sure people have the right type of care if they do end up needing some type of long-term care, things like that. And so that's kind of where we found our niche and where we can help the most. And so we decided to become experts in that arena. And the rest is history. So
and one thing I'll mention too, really just our mission when it comes down to it, is we understand that there's 2 different types of retirement planning. You have the before retirement planning, which is all about being aggressive. It's all about getting as much money or that nest egg built up as possible. And then you have the at retirement planning, which is completely different, because statistically, the number one fear for most people in retirement, most baby boomers, is not death. It's actually the number one fear is outliving your money, having more months than dollars at the end of your lifetime. And so, that's where our passion really comes into play when we think about, going out there and helping people, especially in this niche, because we know everybody is worried about that, especially with these uncertain times.
Now, what do you offer as far as when you talk about protection of assets? What exactly does that mean?
Yeah, basically, having nest eggs in a place where it can participate in the upward mobility of the markets when the markets are going up, it can track that. However, it's completely protected from any downside risk. And we kind of have to be careful what we say on podcasts, things like that, just because of the financial industry and regulation, stuff like that. But, most people don't believe that that's possible. They think that, in order to win, you have to, put your money into risky places, right? Risk versus reward type of thing. But there's strategies out there that were actually specifically designed for the baby boomer generation, because there's so many of them, right? And I guess of you guys, Skip. And there's actually things that were designed to help people to keep up with inflation, to basically be consistently hitting singles and doubles without the ability to strike out.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. So the thing about, I'll wrap it up here, but the thing about going into retirement is there's something called sequence of return risk. And what that means is that if you take a big hit, and I'm going to take a risk here and just say we're in a recession. We're walking into it, right? So everybody knows that. This isn't politically correct. If you take a big hit right before or early in retirement, there's just not enough time to make it back. And especially when you're drawing income, it's very likely people will outlive their money. And I don't know about you, Skip. You do look like a happy guy, but I don't think you want to be at Walmart handing out smiley faces.
No, not my thing. I mean, I don't mind doing things to stay busy, but I don't want to have to depend on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can tell you the scariest it was for me right before retirement. I don't remember the years, but it was when we had the last housing debacle where everybody was getting a house with zero down, and then the interest rates went crazy. 401ks lost 40%, just like overnight it seemed like. Mm-hmm. And I was pre-retirement when that happened. My wife and I were sitting at Starbucks, and I was looking at it, and I said, oh my God, I'll have to work till I'm 70 years old just to break even to where I was at. And luckily, though, things came back, and then we were 10% above where we was before it went down. Remembering how scared I was, I told Sue, I said, I'm taking most of my money out of the stock market. I'm taking it out. I'm not going to go through this again. And she said, where are you going to put it? I said, I'm going to put it somewhere where I don't think I'll have to worry about it going down like that. And she said, where would that be? So I'm going to buy a house in the Villages. I did, and I never regretted it. First house we bought, within 3 years, I made something like 70 grand when I sold it. This house here I bought for 210, and as of the other day, it was worth 440. So lucky, I understand that. I'm lucky. But I remember that fear of thinking 40% of what I've been saving my whole life is gone. It's gone, it's not gone. I didn't sell anything yet, but you know what I mean. Today it's worth X amount of dollars. Tomorrow it's like, where? What? This cannot be right. But it was.
Skip, if that were to happen to you, like let's say now or right before you moved to the Villages and really retired, what do you think the difference would be, and how you felt, and how that affected you?
Well, I could still buy a gun, and I could still afford a bullet. I would cash everything out and give Sue cash because they can't take that away from her, and I would just end it right here. Now, and there's been people here that's already done that because of things. They've just said, that's it, I'm done with this, and then, that's it.
Yeah.
So it can be a serious medical or mental issue. But I've always been one that I don't sit around 24 hours a day worrying about my money. I'm not the guy that goes to the computer and checks 3 times a day to see where I'm at. And there's guys like that. I think that'll kill you. I'm the guy that Oh, you know what? I ought to check. I haven't checked that in about a year now. I don't even know what's there. And I have to look up the phone number because I forgot the phone number. That's how I invest. I don't even know it's there.
Okay, there are a few questions that are actually starting to flood in on the chat.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, the first one I think you answered a little bit. It says, how can retirees best fight inflation and skyrocketing costs?
Yeah, I Chris, I'll kind of take a jab at that, and then whatever I miss, just fill in. But really, the most basic way, or the most simplest that I can put it without going down a rabbit hole, is yeah. By the way, cheers, everybody. Woo.
I got mine. Beer of the day, man, is Samuel Adams Oktoberfest.
Yeah. So the best way to say how do you keep up with the rising cost of inflations and things like that is, well, you put your money in financial vehicles that are tied to the things that inflate. It's that simple. If you can find certain financial vehicles that the companies themselves invest their own money, or they invest clients' money into the things that are tied to the inflation waves that are going on in our country, that is the best way to outpace the rising cost of inflation. Simply put,
By the way, guys, I'm actually not drinking a beer. I'm drinking a cider. Me and you guys that are married understand this, but I'm a beer guy. My wife is a wine drinker, right? We neither of us drink a whole lot. So we figured that cider was a perfect balance between beer and wine. And so this is compromise, right?
Somebody gave me something here a while back. I forget where I was at or what it was. It came in a bottle, if I remember right. It was called Red Cider. That was the brand name of it. And it kind of looked like beer, but it was in a pretty bottle. But it was like he's talking about. It's kind of a cross, kind of like. It's kind of weird, but I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I won't tell anybody.
Okay.
All right. Now, as far as the stuff you're talking about, putting money into it, but then how would you get paid?
I'm going to cover that one, Morgan. This is actually, I would argue, one of the most important aspects of retirement is distribution. And most of the traditional, I would say establishment, not traditional, because we use traditional principles, right? But the kind of the establishment's way of doing things, a lot of times they don't keep the end in mind, right? We work with a lot of CPAs, for instance, that are very nearsighted, looking at this year, but not how it affects people down the road. And most people have been, told their entire lives they'll be in a lower tax bracket in retirement. But what they didn't consider is our government's irresponsibility and our looming national debt. And, unfortunately, the lion's share of most people's retirement assets are in tax-deferred vehicles, which we call tax procrastination. I don't know if you guys have had this experience, but every time I've procrastinated on anything, it's never gotten better. It's always gotten worse. And imagine if Morgan and I are in a business partnership, right? Imagine if we went into a business partnership and at any time Morgan could change his percentage of ownership of the business anytime that he wants. It wouldn't be a very good partnership, right? But that's exactly what happens in a lot of the tax deferred accounts. If the government decides tax rates are double because we have to pay this national debt, well, now when we're distributing that income, we're going to have to pay double the taxes on it. And that's just the reality. So we're trusting Uncle Sam as our business partner in retirement. And unfortunately, most people who haven't learned these things, and it's nobody's fault. It's actually, I would say it's kind of the financial industry's fault. It's unfortunate, but a lot of times Uncle Sam gets to retire with them. And this doesn't seem like the podcast that people would really like that are listening to this. So anyways, to answer your question, there's actually in distribution in retirement, the most important thing in our opinion is, number one, yes, you want to keep up with inflation. You want to avoid all losses while you're distributing that income. But we focus on tax diversification, because if you can have your tax buckets, is what we call them, in retirement, your different investment vehicles, your different financial vehicles are all taxed differently. And if we can balance that out just right, we've actually had people that have gotten to the 0% tax bracket, meaning paying zero taxes in retirement. However, they're actually distributing a lot of income because it's been balanced just right. So tax diversification with risk protection, and of course growth as well to keep up with inflation. All three of those things are kind of combined in that process.
Okay, before I do the next question, is something we forgot to do at the beginning when you guys were on, is a disclaimer. Obviously, we don't know you guys. We're not saying to, Skip's audience, go and talk to these guys because we do these guys too. That's not what we're saying. This is just on there as information for you to make your own decision, and for you as the viewer to do the due diligence of going in and finding out about you and about your program. So we're just pretty much just giving the information out. It's up to the viewer to decide, if they want to go with you or people or persons like you, retirement and asset protection specialists. We are not saying go to these guys. We want you to do this. That's not what we're saying. Okay. So disclaimer over. All right.
Yeah. And we're Wrestler, if you don't mind too, it might be a good chance to piggyback. We're actually going to be down there. We figure we saw these guys and their great tans and their positive attitude, and we figure we want to come down to Florida and enjoy some of the weather. So we're actually coming to the Villages on Friday and Saturday, and we're going to be at the Old Mill Playhouse Theater, actually hosting a big theater event there where we're playing a movie. And this movie has the inventor of the 401k, one of the former comptroller generals of the United States, and just tons of economists in the movie, but it's entertaining as well. And we're going to be playing it. It's a free movie we're providing to the Villages. First come, first serve. I'm already thinking it might be overpacked, so that's why we have 2 showings. Yeah, so we're going to be there 3 p.m. Friday at the Old Mill Playhouse, and then 11 a.m. on Saturday morning. That way, hopefully people can get to meet us a little bit, but also get to watch this film that's really educational in nature and hopefully adds a lot of value wherever we miss the gaps.
And of course, that all comes with the free lunch, right?
Oh man, we didn't think that far ahead. if you're bringing it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'll bring a bag of pretzels.
Now,
hey, Linda Hobbs has got a question.
Yes, I was going to ask that question.
Oh, was you?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So in a recession, isn't cash king? So how do you invest safely then?
Yeah, Morgan, you want me to start off, or
you can start off, Chris? I'll go right after.
Yeah. So kind of like Morgan was sharing earlier, right? Especially when inflation is a large problem, we want things to be tied to things that rise with inflation. However, when there's a recession, the most important thing is that our assets are protected, right? In our opinion. And I'm not going to give specific investment advice per se, right? Just so that nobody gets in trouble here. But what's most important is protection, because you think about this. If you have a pen and paper, whoever asked that question, anybody that wants to do this, if you have a pen and paper on hand, just write this down, right? Write down $100 and then minus 50%. As if the market were to drop 50%, right? Let's say 40, 50. We're just going to use 50 as an easy example. What are we left with, right? We're left with $50. Now, let's say the market jumped right back up 50% again. So you add 50% to that $50. Now what do we have? That's right.
75. Yeah.
Only 75, right? A lot of people get tricked. They think it's 100. You're back to your 100. No, we're only back to 75. So I explain it like this. It's kind of like if I make my wife mad at me, if I do one thing to piss my wife off, it's going to take at least 2 things to get back in the positive. It's not a wash. It's never a wash. Maybe 3 or 4. I don't know. Right? You married folk, you know what I'm talking about. But the key, whenever the market, whether it's a correction or recession, right? In our opinion, the key is to be completely protected from those losses. And if you're protected from the losses, you're calm and cool while everybody else is worried and panicked. And, unfortunately, divorce rates go up, right? Suicide, it's very sad. But people, I'm like Skip, right? We don't want to have to think about it. Why think about it? Just let it just ride out the storm. And then guess what? If you're in the right vehicle that is designed this way, where it's completely protected from the losses, but it can go up. When that market does go up, you don't have to really think about it. It's just going to track the upward mobility again. So you get to reap the gains without the losses, in a sense, kind of have your cake and eat it too. And these are those strategies we were mentioning that were basically designed for this generation and going into retirement, in anticipation for going into retirement. So anything you want to add to that, Morgan?
No, I think that was good. But the other thing too is, this really, the one huge enemy to money that we've just been talking about is risk. But the second one is inflation. That's the silent killer. That's the one that's going to kill your dollar that's not invested. It's kind of like and for those people who don't really understand the concept of inflation, which I'm assuming everybody does, but how we used to have a dollar menu at McDonald's, back like 10 years ago? And how much is it for a dollar, for an item off the dollar menu now? I think they actually got rid of it. It's like $1.30 or $1.50. Or they have
the $1, $2, $3 menu now. It's the $1, $2, $3,
right? The pick four, for 10 or whatever. And so inflation obviously is just weakening our dollars. And if we think about today's economy, and if I ask just somebody, hey, what do you think the general, inflation gap is right now? Most people, they have no idea. And what we found is that really it's upwards beyond 10% this year. And it looks like it's going to be, staying around that for next year. And so, if you got $100 in, just laying around, right, you're losing 14% in value, 10 to 14% in value every single year that goes by. And at the end of the day, cash is king only if it holds its value. So, if it's worth $10 less next year, cash really, in that sense, isn't king. Invested cash is king. But, so that's what I would say.
Well, we can just print more money, right?
Yeah, look how we're out. I mean, it grows on trees, right?
Sorry, I had to throw that out there because somebody was thinking that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Skip, that kind of leads into a good, something good, because it's kind of like, going to the gym, right? If you were to use steroids, there's always going to be side effects. Whenever you try to, pump something up too much artificially, right? There's side effects. Look at our food, right? I'm not going to get into that too much, but when you pump it full of these things, like there's side effects to that. So,
yeah.
It's the same thing with our economy. And right now, what we're seeing the after effects. And this is the most unfortunate thing. And this is where we can kind of get passionate, because at the exact time that the largest generation in American history, the baby boomer generation, right? The only one before that was the dinosaurs. And I'm just kidding. The baby boomer generation is right at the cusp of retiring. And at that exact same time, our government just blasted us with a landmine, causing inflation. And now to correct that inflation, they're messing with interest rates, doing all these other things, right? These other strategies that have never even really quantitative easing and weird stuff like that haven't really been tested that to the degree that we know they work well, right? And at the exact same time that baby boomers are retiring and really need to count on something, right? These steroids were pumped into our country, and we're starting to see the effects of the beginning of the effects of that. And, it's funny, the people who actually make the decisions at the very top, that make the decisions on changing interest rates and quantitative easing, all these things, they actually said that this year there's a 1 in 4 chance in 2022 that we're going to enter a recession, but there's a 3 in 4 chance it'll happen in 2023. And these are the people that flick the switch that will cause it. And so, it's not rocket science. It's just it's really just paying attention and then being willing to learn. And the thing about us is, I love what Wrestler said earlier. We really aren't here to sell anybody anything. Honestly, we want to educate people. And the thing I love about working with people that are twice our age, honestly, is you guys have a lot of life experience. You have a lot of wisdom. And when we break things down that make sense, and have the math to back it up. The thing I love about finance is that it's based in numbers. Numbers are based in facts, and facts are absolute. And when the math adds up and it makes sense and it corresponds with your life experience, and these strategies do that, then it's really just making educated decisions. It's not being sold anything or anything like that. And that's what we're very passionate about.
I think what bothers me about our economy and the investments in things in our economy and all this and that is the fact that our economy now can be controlled by foreign countries. China being the worst. I mean, it's communism. I was raised that communism is bad. It's no good. Don't trust them. You've heard it all. And now they can decide we're not making these chips anymore, so you can't sell a truck. We're not making this medicine anymore for whatever reason, so you can't get your medicine. That's the part about investing in my country that bothers me.
Yeah, I remember being a little kid, and I have two younger brothers, and I remember being in the dollar store. It's one of those weird first memories that's kind of random. I remember being in the dollar store or Target or something. I don't know, Walmart, Big Lots. I don't know what it was. And me and my brothers were playing a game because I started flipping things over and everything said made in China. And it was the first time I noticed this as like a 5-6-year-old kid. And I remember noticing it and I was like, why is everything made in China? And I started playing a game with my brothers to try to find something that wasn't made in China. And we found something and it was made in Taiwan.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, once upon a time, foreign products was considered to be something for the rich people. You know, they brag about having a sweater made in, I don't know, India or whatever, a rug made in India and stuff like that. We couldn't afford that. Now, those countries are selling us stuff that basically is crap. I don't trust any of it. They had dog food coming here that was killing dogs, they found out. They had a shipload of paint that had to be sent back because it had lead in it. I just don't trust them. So I damn sure wouldn't trust investing any of my money in a business that was located there.
They sent us a virus. I wasn't supposed to say that.
That's all right. I am a politically incorrect channel.
Okay, a couple things. First of all, do you have a website? There's a lot of people go on there about, do you have a website? And if not, why? And then I have a question about fiduciary right after that.
Yeah, currently we actually we don't have a website right now. We are actually rebuilding our website and all of that to be compliant. And we've also added 3 other divisions to our firm, business services, CPA partnership, and then agency training as well. And so we're trying to work all that in to build it all into one central location. So our contact information is on the bottom right now. We're more like a boutique firm. But yeah, so to answer that question. And what was the next question?
Well, the next question I didn't ask yet. It's about fiduciary. Now, for those who don't know, fiduciary means that one party has the obligation to act in the best interest of another party. So with that said, are you considered a fiduciary?
So fiduciary in the financial world is, and again, Morgan, if you want to jump in, sorry, I just keep attacking. He's getting me fired up. Yeah, in the financial world. So the funny thing about fiduciary is somebody can get a license and call themselves a fiduciary, and then also on another hat be a broker. They can pick up and remove those hats without anybody realizing. So to us, titles, positional type of things like that really isn't what makes us special. It's the education. It's what's backed up in facts, things like that. So to answer your questions, we really haven't been concerned with branding ourselves or pigeonholing ourselves into fiduciary type of a structure, if that makes sense. But what we do, we're non-captive. We work with dozens and dozens and dozens of A-rated financial companies. We focus on education. We help people make educated decisions. And we just don't really want to play the game of picking up different hats and, saying we're a fiduciary just because that's what's going to get us the business, if that makes sense. If what we say doesn't make sense, then somebody probably shouldn't do it. I
see a lot of comments on here, and if I step out of bounds, just let me know. I'll walk away. They're wanting to know if you're specifically referring to annuities.
Annuities are one thing that we do. Morgan, again, if you want to jump in.
Yeah, just go ahead. And by the way, when it comes to, because I saw that comment floating around there, this is the key. And I just kind of, and I'm not trying to dodge a question or anything like that, because the questions like these means that there's a lot of curiosity, which I really appreciate, which is why our contact information is down at the bottom. So that way you guys can reach out direct. Well, when it comes to specific annuities, we do, we work with those. I saw somebody put like an FIA, which is a fixed indexed annuity. That is definitely something that we have within, our arsenal, if you will. But I do want to mention that not every annuity is good. Not every company's annuity is good, which is, the reason why we decided to be non-captive, because we have the ability to represent the best of the best companies that are out there. We both put in, tens of thousands of hours in this industry. And I do not recommend, if you're thinking about an annuity or, whatever, that you just go down to your local financial advisory company. I would definitely do your research on those, because they might not be the best thing for you. Some, annuities don't always take a presence within a financial plan. They just aren't always the best, thing to use. So that, not to dodge the question, but it really depends on the type of annuity, for one, to where we would actually, see be a fit. And then also the type or the financial company that we're utilizing with that annuity, if the annuity is the right fit or solution.
Okay,
So
now we are starting to run out of time a little bit here.
Yeah.
But the big question I'm seeing up is kind of a lot of questions around the same thing, which is essentially, how do you get paid?
That's a good question.
Yeah. So and it's real simple too. So it's just like, it's called outsourcing. So, we get paid, pretty much the same no matter what company that we go with. So essentially, when we find a client who needs a service, we can, have multiple options for them. We go with whatever company that suits that client's, comfortability and specific need. And then the companies pay us directly on the back end from their marketing budget, because these companies, they got massive marketing budgets, and that's how we get paid. It's called outsourcing.
So essentially, you're like middlemen.
Sort of. Yeah, kind of. So basically, if you were to, it's pretty much in a sense like a broker model. However, because we're non-captive, what happens is, for instance, and it's hard to answer some of these questions because it's almost like what is that called? When it's kind of targeted, right? So like loaded questions. We can't say that everybody fits in this box. See, that's what got us here. Like everyone doesn't fit in one box. The person asked about annuities, right? I don't know. We would need to do an analysis. It's like going to the doctor and saying, hey, will you prescribe me this? It's like, I haven't seen you yet. I don't know, right? And most of the time I don't listen to my patients because they're wrong. I got to do analysis. I have to listen. I got to x-ray. I got to go do some homework, do some math, build some formulas. And many times an annuity can be a part of that equation, because guaranteed income is proven people are actually proven to live longer when they have guaranteed income. Social Security is an annuity, right? So people actually love annuities when they understand them and they're the right kind, like Morgan was saying.
Well. Pension
right?
plans.
So,
well, yeah.
Yeah. So annuities are a good thing, right? So anyway, so sometimes it's a part of a financial picture, sometimes it's not. But almost every time, it's only a part of the picture, if it is a part. And there's all these different tools that we can kind of reach into our war chest, our tool chest, and bring to the table. But it's really the way that they're balanced together that maximizes the distribution that somebody actually receives in retirement as far as income. And it's how they're balanced, how they're blended, and how they're designed, honestly. Now, as far as how we get paid, we work with so many different A-rated financial companies. What's great is that, again, like Morgan said, we kind of leverage the fact that they're competing with each other to our client's benefit, where our client comes to us. It doesn't really matter if I go with Fidelity and Guarantee or Athene or Nationwide or Transamerica. It doesn't matter who we go with necessarily, because no matter what, right, they're going to take care of us on the back end, because they wouldn't have met that client and had that strategy built without us. But because we have so many available, we can always pick and designed just right, what strategy actually makes sense for that client. So hopefully that answers the question.
Well, I understand it because it's just, I don't care who you go to, a broker for buying a house, Ira Miller, which is another broker down here for home buying, licensed realtor. Any licensed realtor will tell you that you have to give them so much facts. And then their job is to take the information you give them to find that perfect house for you. And I think investing is that way. I mean, I'm not comfortable investing one way, but that doesn't mean that nobody's will invest that way. I know a guy that his whole retirement is collecting antique cars. He's been doing it his whole life. Sometimes I think he went the right way.
Does he have a 70 Chevelle SS?
I don't know what he's got, but he's got a barn load of them. I swear to God he does. Some of them are original. They're just dusty. And he says they're worth more and don't touch them. And he's got others like old 57 Chevys that's been refurbished. And he's got things called Resto Mod, where it looks like a 47 Ford, but it's got like a 600 horsepower something in it, you know. So he's got different things. He just likes to collect them. And I look at it going, I bet he's got $1 million worth of cars. So I think his idea of choosing cars for him worked out pretty well.
That's awesome.
Was there any more questions real quick there? Healthy home cooking, I know you had a bunch.
There's actually a whole bunch in the chat which we're not going to get to.
We're not going to be able to get them all.
No.
But there is.
We were concentrating more on theirs.
Yeah, there is a whole bunch of questions again, kind of related to what your credentials are.
What our credentials are? What do you mean by that?
There's a lot of like what is their credentials? What credentials do they have? What backgrounds do they have? Those kind of questions.
Yeah.
So we've been in the financial industry, both of us, for going on 7 years now. Official title would be financial professional. And as far as our niche, what we focus on, what our experience is, we have hundreds and hundreds of clients separately and together in our firm that are retirement clients, life insurance clients, long-term care clients, legacy clients. We run a firm of about 20-ish other advisors, including a very good CPA as well that we can leverage. We have a support system with attorneys, back office, that we can do trust reviews and things with our attorneys through Financial Independence Group, who are just amazing. Love those people. Yeah. And of course, we're fully licensed. I'm licensed in several different states.
That's probably what they're talking about, licensing and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not going to get specific on licensing, things like that, but licensed in several different states, all the way to Alaska, actually. I have a client in Anchorage, Alaska.
When are you going to be down here? When did you say?
We're going to be down here we're actually flying in Thursday, and then we will be here Friday, and then again on Saturday.
Friday and Saturday.
This Friday and Saturday. So if we couldn't get to your questions, come have a beer with us, come hang out, right? What's that thing that you said, Skip, that's after the movie on Friday?
Square.
The Square, right?
It's a catty corner across the street from where you're going to be. You'll find it. Trust me. When you walk outside around 5 o'clock, just follow your ears. That's where it is.
So we switched the movie time to 3 p.m. like you recommended, because we figured that if we do it at 3 p.m., it's like an hour and a half long, and then people can kind of bridge over into the Square. We'll probably hang out for a while. We rented a golf cart. My wife actually rented us a golf cart.
Cool.
Yeah, so we'll fit right in, right?
Yeah, you'll have a great time. I might come up. I mean, I don't know. I just think I might come up if I don't have anything to do, which, hey, I don't have anything to do.
Yeah, you should come. It'll be a good time. And as far as the film, right? Honestly, guys, like you don't have to. As far as like some of the kind of questions, right? A lot of people are very skeptical about things and people, and we deal with this all the time. Just in the nature of the financial industry, it's a very emotional topic, especially right now. So we don't get offended by any of that stuff, right? Sometimes I don't want to answer because it's like, all right, let's just hang out, talk, right? If we're gonna meet one-on-one, we're gonna go over all that stuff, right? If not, it's probably just a cynical type of person that we don't want to deal with anyways. But the beauty of this movie, yeah, that's okay. The beauty of this movie, this film, is that it has the brightest financial minds. I mean, this gentleman was the former comptroller general, basically the CPA for the United States under both Clinton and Bush. And I mean, this guy ran the country, right? He had us. Matter of fact, when Clinton was president, was the last time that we actually had a balanced deficit. And then after that, with the war and everything, I mean, it just got skyrocketed and got crazy. Deficit, not meaning debt, but deficit meaning, we were managing our money good. And again, these top economists, things like that. So, our whole thing about this film is like, don't listen to us. Listen to them. Come watch the movie, right? It's free. We're paying for it. Right? We're bringing you guys on a date. Come to the movie, watch the movie, listen to these experts and what they have to say. Our job is just to build solutions and really help people get what they need and what they want and really protect their families.
Okay, less than 5 minutes left. One of the more interesting questions was, how do I access my money if you don't have an office in Florida?
Good question. Well, we don't keep your money in our office.
Yeah, but if they had money with you wherever you put it, and if somebody wants to pull out, say $1,000, how they do that?
Right. Well, that's funny. So, Morgan, you want to answer that?
Yeah, just it's real simple. It depends on the financial solution, but most of the time you have an account that we can. You create an account and then you can manage funds that way. Electronic transfer of funds. It's typically the easiest way to do it. It takes 24, 48 hours for it to pop into your bank account. It's as simple as.
So do you do that, or if I had some, could I just get on the internet and do it?
Yeah, either one.
Either one. It's typically a lot easier if you're working with, a professional to just do all that work for you. After all,
at least the first few times, when we're going into the website, things like that. But yeah. I mean, these funds are not, they're not sitting in an office or something like that. Even in the bank, when you hold your money in the bank, I hope you guys, I know you guys probably do, but I hope you guys know, like, it's not sitting in the bank, right? The money's flowing, it's moving. They have it in other places, but in the types of strategies that we're really talking about and focusing in on for the purpose of this call, asset protection strategies, things that will protect us from the market but can go up with the market. Sometimes annuities, bad word, right? Scared somebody off. These are with highly rated AAA rated companies. The same companies that Lockheed Martin just moved $4.9 billion with, right? So, these companies aren't in our office. And to be honest with you, in March 2020, when COVID first hit, we had a physical big old office right in the middle of our city center in Virginia, and we had a decision to make whether we were going to renew our lease for that office or not. And we kind of decided to lean in and say, hey, I think this thing's going to be, things are going to change, right? We don't know, but this is weird. This has never happened before, and so we made a decision and we kind of spread out. We started doing a lot more virtually, right? We downsized our office space, and we do a lot on Zoom now. Both because of the virus at the time, right? My grandfather actually passed away from he had other complications, but from COVID. And so both because of the virus, to protect, people's comfort level and things like that, especially with the, older populations that we work with, but also for the convenience factor and the fact that kind of things have moved that way. Look at what we're doing right now, right? So we do a lot of follow-up virtually, things like that. But we work with, some of the biggest companies out there that everybody's heard of. And that's where these strategies would come into play.
Okay, I think we're going to have to finish this up so we can get on with our other stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
I did have a joke, Skip. You told us we were supposed to have a joke, so I had a joke.
Go ahead. Too. Make it a good one.
You guys were all serious on us, and you didn't give us a chance to tell them. Well. Morgan, you want to go first?
No, you got it, Chris. Let's hear it.
So I was just going to say, right, there was this woman, and she was bragging to her friend, and she was telling her friend, man, I made my husband a millionaire. And her friend looks back at her and she says, oh, wow, well, what did he have before? And she said, well, he was a billionaire.
I don't have my ba-dum-bum on here. Ba-dum-bum. Yeah. Well, I can't really say for that. I've been married for 51 years, and the truth is, if I wasn't married, I'd probably have a Corvette sitting out in the driveway living in a $200 a month apartment building. That'd be me.
Me too, but it would be that Chevelle from your buddy.
Yeah. Okay, well, I appreciate you guys coming on and sharing your knowledge about what it is you do and how you do. And as time goes on and more information comes up, maybe we'll have you come back.
Absolutely, yeah. And come see us on Friday and Saturday. We'll see you guys there. Hopefully, Skip.
I may. If you can, or I'll email you my phone number, so I can contact you that way in case I'm out riding around, because I don't text real well in the golf cart. I fall out. And Morgan, I appreciate you coming on all the way from Colorado.
Woo. Yeah, I appreciate it, Skip. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it, and we're looking forward to hopefully seeing some of you guys in the chat and at the venue.
All right. Everybody's got your phone number and emails down there, so they might call you or send you an email if they got any more questions.
Awesome.
See you guys.
All right, man. Chris, Morgan,
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
both of you really very much. See you.
Thank you. Okay, and Joanna Bowen is correct. Laws around financial professionals who hold licenses, unless they work for you and are meeting one-on-one with you, they can't be too specific. That's the law. And also, at the beginning, I have to say this again. We are not telling you to go to those people. We were just giving that information out. It's up to you to do your due diligence. If you're interested, talk to them and go from there. So again, we are not saying to go to them. We're just giving you information about them and people like them.
I just bring a bunch of stuff on here and people can listen to it, ask questions, and then use their own judgment. Just like Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon. Ed McMahon advertised Alpo, but he never told anybody to go buy it.
Yeah.
True. And
he also
and
advertised Budweiser, and I happen to know he didn't like Budweiser. They just paid the bills.
There you go.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to send an invite to get Judy P on here.
Yes.
They've been sending me all kinds of emails saying, you got to get Judy. You got to send Judy a thing. You got to get Judy on. Got to send it to Judy. So why don't you give me a joke?
Uh-oh.
Our jokes are in the other room.
It is.
What?
Our jokes in the other room.
After our before the show chat, you left the jokes in the other room?
You did.
Do you want me to go get the jokes in the other room?
You haven't got one on the top of your head you can just fling out there?
Skip Smith.
Oh, by the way, real quick, apparently some of the, I want to explain a little bit about the T-shirts in the coffee cup mug sales for the kids.
I'll be back.
Okay.
It's a campaign, but every T-shirt is a separate campaign. I don't know why they do it that way, but it is. So the W&L shirts is one campaign. The Don't Leave Your Keys in the Golf Cart is another campaign. Coffee Cubs is a separate campaign. So things get mailed out separately. Today we got a T-shirt down here, and I'm not sure whose it is. I don't think it's mine. So I think it's Judy P's, but I'm not 100% sure. I got to go check the order. So those of you some of you may have gotten T-shirts, some of you may not got them yet. That's because it's a different campaign. I think only one campaign is actually closed. The other ones are still running.
Now, as far as just a little FYI, you can see different background. I actually created a new studio, thanks to her as well. So a big part of it. So we do have a new studio.
But what the people don't know is she moved you out to the barn in the backyard.
She did. Get out of the living room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my studio was the living room, but it's not that anymore. So we actually have a studio. I have a new editing suite, which I'm going to be using.
And I can enjoy TV anytime I want to.
Yes.
Without being interrupted.
Yes. So I can.
You can do that in the bedroom. Just go back there and shut the door.
Well, we don't have a TV in our bedroom. We entertain ourselves.
You might as well get a TV. Your entertainment days are done and over, and you know it. They're gone.
Yeah.
I mean, your idea of entertainment now is taking a flashlight on a rainy night and go out and looking for night crawlers.
That's right. That's right. All right.
All right, let's bring the other two girls on here. I'm probably going to get bambashed here now. I have three. You got to help me. These girls get out of hand sometimes.
Oh, you know what? It's going to be 3-on-2 today.
It is 3-on-2. That's kind of kinky, ain't it?
I don't know.
Hey, there were 3 guys when I was on here.
That's
no,
true.
4.
4. That's right.
Where's Sue?
Uh-oh. Hi, Sue.
Oh, hi, guys.
And here's Judy.
Hi, Judy. Yay.
Look at him. Look at him. You know they were talking backstage saying, hey, let's fake it like we're sleeping.
Oh, yeah, I am sleepy, but let's not do any more financial people for a while.
Why, is it boring?
Well, not boring, but
I don't necessarily pick guests that entertain me. I pretty well get guests that I think is going to appeal to a percentage of people that are retired. So you're not going to see me get somebody like a professional fisherman on here, because I don't think 99% of these people here in the villages cares one way or the other. But if I could get a professional alligator wrestler on here that removes alligators from these ponds, I think that would be interesting.
have you ever asked one?
I don't know any.
Go to Gatorland.
They have to be licensed by they got to be licensed by the state of Florida to be able to remove a gator.
Well,
There's certain rules about removing a gator. It can't be a gator of some size. It's got to be larger than a certain size, and I don't know what that is. They're just certain rules.
Yeah, it has to be edible.
Well, they do.
Yes,
I've actually had it. We went to, I want to say Gators, but I won't swear that's what it was, and we had gator bits. It was on the menu, and I asked the lady straight out, I said, is this just a funny name you give it for people to come down for tourists, or is this really alligator? And she said, oh, no, it's gator bits. She said, that's the tail of an alligator. That's white meat. She said, have you ever had it? I said, no, I never have. So she went and got me one. She said, here, I'll get you one, try it. If you don't like it, just don't order them. And you know the old saying, what it tastes like.
It tastes like chicken.
It did.
well, it was white meat.
Yeah, it tastes like McDonald's McNuggets. I got a couple of things here. One, I got this from who is this from? It's a long letter, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. Nancy Zuber and her husband, she sent a donation for the kids, and she said, just let me know if the cash is in the envelope so she knows it's not stolen. So I'm letting you know, Nancy, we got the cash. It was not stolen. Everything's here. I got it here.
She also sent you a nice book from the Billy Graham
Yeah.
museum. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's laying out there on the kitchen counter, I think.
Yeah, really, really nice book. That was very nice of you, Nancy. We really appreciate it because we did like that museum. Or
In Billy
home.
Graham's place? I thought Billy Graham's, it was interesting. I'm not a religious fanatic, but I just thought it was really interesting, the way they had the room set aside inside, the story about the building itself.
Yeah.
And, of course, the sidewalks going out to the graves and how that, I just thought it was interesting, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was really, it wasn't something that we planned on doing. We just happened to see it.
Yeah, we was driving around the car, if I remember right, and we just happened to see a sign about Billy Graham something library, and I said, let's go there and see what that is. We just went there, and that's what was there. Kind of like going to Pennsylvania. We went up there to see WrestleMania and them, and Hershey just happened to be, her museum was just down the road. I didn't know it was down there till they took us down there. Then we took that bus tour and found out that Reese's candy bar was invented by Hershey's competition guy, right? Some story about that.
Yeah, something about that, yeah.
Best part about the bus ride was they give you free candy.
Yeah, they do.
Then I gave it to Sue.
Yeah.
And I've got these pictures where we're riding in this little cart going through the factory, and I said, everybody's looking happy, and Skip's looking.
Yeah. Where's the chocolate? Yeah.
Hey, I want to show you guys this picture of this lizard that was in my backyard today. I got a little. I edited it so it's, you'll see it. And look at this thing. Where's that? There it is. See it over there on the screen?
Goodness.
To the right.
It's a little gator.
It almost looks like it. And he's got a big, long tongue.
Yeah. Maybe that's one of those southern ones.
And I went outside. He was trying to hide. I want to get a better picture of him. I have never seen that here before, ever.
Wow.
You know
Jerry
what?
went.
There are some new lizards that have come up from Cuba or somewhere.
Yeah, I heard him talk about it on the news.
Yeah, and I think they will kill the lizards or the anoles that are here now.
Yeah.
That lizard will?
I don't know if that's one of them, but I know that there are some bigger lizards that I think they've come up from Cuba. Does that sound right, Sue?
Something like that.
think
I heard something about it on the news because they were afraid it's an invasive species, and they were afraid it's going to harm the ones that are already here. Yeah.
But that one there's an
They swim the
invasive
whole way,
species?
Judy.
I don't know. I didn't see a picture of it. I just heard him talking about it.
But I know it was bigger, and that would
Yeah.
kind of make sense that it might be one.
Yeah.
Well, I know that the geckos you see running around here, there's 7 species of that from what I've read. 6 of them are invasive. There's only one that's a Florida natural, and it's called, I think it's called an anode, whatever it's called, something like anode, and it's green.
Yeah.
And none of them in my yard are green.
Well, the green ones I heard are up in the trees now.
Those are the native ones.
You're right. That are the native ones, and the brown ones are from Cuba. But
We're
these-
supposed to, as Floridians now, I keep thinking about that word for Wisconsinites, Wisconsiners, Wisconsinese. I said Wisconsinite sounded like a disease. I made a lot of people mad probably when I said that. Huh?
Well, I said, well, what's the name for Alabama?
Alabamans? Alabamans?
Well, Judy
Y'all?
would know. I know
They're just
Arkansas.
called y'all.
Y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Skip, you may want to send that picture up to Gainesville, to the college, to the university, somewhere up there that, they might be looking out to try to find out where those lizards are showing up.
Well, I was trying to get a good picture of it. I don't think I really got a good enough picture, but
Well, you got a pretty decent picture. I mean, you could send that video up to them.
Yeah, on the outside, where he was curled up there, yeah, you got a good picture of his head. And that's what
well,
they
if
need.
when I was inside, I could get a better picture, but the camera kept trying to focus on the screen. I couldn't really get a good picture of him, so I went outside, and he wouldn't stand still for me. Linda. Oh, I know what I got. Somebody's saying something about. No, they didn't say. I'm saying the donation thing. I've got added on. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh, my.
Huh? Well, I'm trying to update the list. The last donations I've gotten was from Tim and Janet, Elizabeth Chamberlain, Anthony, Susan Orlandi, Judy Simonin, Nancy Zuber, which I think that's what this letter here was, Kevin and Karen Jockway. They're always generous when it comes to these kids. And then shirts. I think so far on this first order of shirts, we've received $137 in profits on those. So that's in there. But there's more to come because there's other shirts that the campaign hasn't run out yet. The coffee mugs I don't think's run out yet. And I'll get mine when everybody gets theirs because I ordered mine too. And what's that? Well, I'll ask you later, Lynn, Judy. It's hard for me to keep all the politically correct questions politically correct.
So you were going to ask an unpolitically correct question of me?
I think there's a lot of things now that I don't think has been politically incorrect, but other people seem to think that it's not the thing you're supposed to say.
He's looking at me and I'm going, no.
No. Is this directed at
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ask it. I'll go ahead and ask it because you're saying so. The shirt I got down here that came here because I ordered you a shirt and I ordered Linda a shirt, and this one's is a double XL.
That's not mine.
Okay, never mind. See, I don't know if I'm supposed to ask that.
Well, maybe not on the live.
That's what I was saying. I said, well, I can always ask you later. And then you said, well, go ahead and ask me. I mean, I'll go. What are you going to ask?
No, I asked if it was directed towards me because I had no idea what you were talking about.
Nobody ever knows what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Can I be
We just
Deb?
got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who's from.
Woo. I got this when we went to Patreon lunch the other day from Dave and his wife, and it had a nice little donation in it. He sent us a check for $200 to go for the kids.
Yes, thank you, Dave and Gloria.
That's
We
Yeah.
really
awesome.
appreciate it.
Yeah, Dave and his wife has supported this channel for a long time, and we appreciate it. And we are going to have a game today. Actually, this game was kind of set up by Healthy Home Cooking.
So that
Kinda.
means I have to sit out.
Yeah. Well, I wrote some of the stuff down. I'm just not too sure how to score it. That's always the question: how to score it. Do we give the question one at a time? Do we do a ding me or what?
Oh, she sent you a link to the question.
Yes.
Okay.
She's already went to those links and she done looked at them.
Because I'm the educated one.
Yeah.
Educated.
Yeah, but I'm more important.
Oh, hey,
At least
Sue.
in your own mind.
Sue, I got a question
Yes.
for you.
Okay.
What is a really sad strawberry called?
A sad strawberry?
Yeah,
I've heard this before.
I don't know.
a blueberry.
Oh. Okay.
I know where I heard that now. I heard that from my grandson when he was 3.
Probably. It sounds like something the girls would run in and say, you know.
Yeah.
Taco
And
Bell.
don't forget the super chats and super stickers out there, people, because
yes.
without them, we won't have anything for next month for a prize or whatever. So, we appreciate it if you can. We haven't gotten any so far, have we? I ain't seen any.
No, I've been looking.
What's the
No, but
prize
there is-
this month?
There we go.
$100 Amazon gift card.
Okay.
Yeah. Now there was a anniversary, and I forgot to.
It was at the very beginning.
Okay, I am so sorry, whoever that is, because I can't get up that far.
All right, I'm looking.
Okay, yeah, it was towards the beginning of the session.
Somehow I messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
welcome. I think it was like a 5-month anniversary membership. So thank you. I think it was Kelly.
I don't think.
Oh,
I can
okay.
look
Kelly
it up
B?
either.
No.
Yeah, we got a couple Kellys.
Yeah, we do have a couple Kellys. I am so
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't want to interrupt the flow of the chat. I mean, the flow of the show at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I was going to reach her
No,
later.
I can't
And
get the whole way up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now we.
So very loved. Everybody
Yeah.
wanted to see me
Yeah.
as I'm going up here looking for that.
Yes,
thank you.
everybody says, "Where's Judy? Where's Judy?"
I
Yeah.
know I was saying that too.
Yeah, because he did say he was going to do the check about 7:30.
I said
Oh, yeah.
I said about 7:30, 7:35-ish, somewhere in that area.
I thought I
It
saw
was-
something that came on my phone that was from StreamYard. And then I came over because I'd already turned my computer on and I came over to my computer and it had decided to do an update. And so I think this update took like 5 minutes and then I didn't find it on my email. So that's why I was kind of going, well, did you send me a invite and I didn't get it?
Well, thanks for all that, Judy.
You're welcome.
We got a $20 super chat from David Kozak.
Thank you, David.
Thank you for the super chat.
Thanks for the super sticker.
See, I can pretend like I'm not a
Stickers, I like stickers, yes I do.
I do!
Stickers, I like stickers more than you.
I don't.
And
You got another one
You got
from
another
Kevin K.
Hey, Kevin, thank you.
Thank you
third
for the
one.
super chat.
Stickers,
Yeah.
stickers, I like stickers, yes I do. Stickers, I like stickers more than you.
And Marsha. Thank
We're on
you,
a roll.
Marsha.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
goodness! Look
Thank
there.
For the super sticker.
Stickers. Stickers. I like stickers. Yes, I do. Stickers. I like stickers more than you.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to say, send in some money if you want to watch Skip dance.
Dance.
Does that mean around a pole?
Oh, yeah.
No, that was
Cindy G, $20 super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
That'll be enough of that. Quit acting like an idiot. Act your age, man.
Did you get Marsha?
Yep, I got them all.
Marsha.
You did?
Marsha. Janice Keller said you need to find a new song, Skip.
Which song do I need to find new?
The one that you just did. She wants you.
Oh! Gene, the dancing machine.
And that was for Karen Voller for 1999.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you for the super chat.
Stickers. I like stickers. Yes, I do. Stickers. I like stickers more than you.
Yeah. Phil wants
You
to
know,
know how
this
much is it
channel
if you
has-
don't dance.
This
Huh?
channel has the most annoying music, but the most, the best, I can't think of the word, the best the viewers.
Oh, yes.
Most generous viewers.
Yes,
Yes,
they
yes.
do. I agree.
What
guys
did
are
you say
awesome.
was annoying?
I
You
just said,
and your-
Phil wants to know what you'd pay if you don't dance.
Ow, I felt that knife go in and turn.
Ooh.
All right, we have to, Judy has spent her wad going down to Disney World, and she sent us some pictures here to talk about, because in the villages there is Disney Club, isn't there, that goes down there all the time?
I'm not part of it. Also, these were from the summer, but I'm going down to Disney again, and I'll be at Food and Wine, so I'll take some more pictures. For this is the pictures that we're going to show are Flower and Garden, the Flower and Garden Festival.
That's at Epcot, right?
That's at Epcot. And
That's
Food
my
and
favorite
Wine is
park.
at Epcot also.
I always looked at Epcot as being like an adult park,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because Epcot, from the very beginning, served alcohol when none of the other parks did.
Mhm. They still do.
And of all the parks that we've been to down there 15 times, Epcot to this day had the best parade.
I don't know. Magic Kingdom has a good parade too.
That's for little children. You know, it's just embarrassing to see a 35-year-old standing out in the road, jumping up and down, screaming like a little girl because Mickey Mouse is coming around.
He's just
Well,
saying that because that's what
That
he did.
video may have a 35-year-old woman getting in front of me that was jumping up and down that I wanted
Yeah,
to slap
I saw
down.
that.
Get out of my way.
Yeah. But no, we went, they all had good, that's one thing Disney has. They have great fireworks no matter where you go. Now I think they got laser lights involved. They have great parades at any of the parks. I don't care which one you go to. But the reason why the one at Epcot was really cool, I thought, Jessie was about 3 or 4 years old when we took her there, and she was dancing constantly with the music as the parade was going by. And everybody there was made up like a character, so that whenever this guy was walking, he could be whatever, something 15 feet tall. But all this was attached to a man on the ground. I don't know how to describe it. So when he'd move his arms, the arms way up yonder was moving. And he came over to Jessie and bent the whole thing over. I got a picture of it. And she shook his hand, and that just tickled her to death. So let me see if I can find some pictures here. Here's my favorite picture. This picture here, ironically, is where I told Sue I wanted her to scatter my ashes.
I don't think you can scatter your ashes at Disney World.
No, they stopped. Yeah, one time they did, and then they stopped it. Right there. That's where I wanted to go.
Yeah, there's old Walt and Mickey, and the castle's behind them.
I think I read somewhere that there was something like no less than 6 or 7 cameras aimed at that to keep people from dumping ashes in there.
They have a special crew that cleans it up because they have so many people doing that. They have a special crew that comes and cleans the ashes up.
I didn't know that, and that's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Here's how I looked at it. Sue said, "What do you want me to do that for?" I said, "Because then if any of the kids want to come and see me or visit me, guess where they got to go?" Is that at the very beginning of Main Street or at the end? Because I see the castle behind you.
Yeah. It's at the front.
Yeah.
Okay. I was curious. I've never seen it. So, okay.
Now, somebody said that they haven't had a parade in Epcot since 2000.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they're starting to bring a lot of things back. I read something today that they're bringing. I think it's Fantasmic. They're bringing that back.
Oh.
That was always a great show.
Yeah.
They're bringing it back now.
Oh, by the way, Teresa Wakefield, member for 9 months. Thank you.
Thanks, Teresa. Appreciate it.
Oh,
by the way, if you would like to be a YouTube member, just go down and hit the join button. 99 cents a month you can get in, and everything I put on there is commercial free. What else you got here?
Commercials are free.
Yeah, commercial free. I don't get nothing from YouTube on Patreon and YouTube members. I get 0.
Now, you do realize from the story that we just heard about dumping your ashes in there, your family would not be able to visit you because you're going to be in a Hoover. They Hoover you up afterwards.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they dig me up and everything. But it's a mindset. They would think that I was there.
Ah, gotcha.
See? And so they would always know he's there,
It's like,
even though you're not there.
Check
Your
the trash
family's
can. He's over there.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Here's how it really ends up. Here's a checkbook. They just got their inheritance. Oh, I miss Dad. All right. What we got here?
Okay, this is from the Flower and Garden Show, and this is Donald Duck and the rest of the ducks. Daffy Duck, and I don't know the other names, but that was from Flower and Garden. I really feel like the Flower and Garden Festival probably, to me, is one of the neatest festivals to go to there because the flowers are beautiful.
Don't they have like the food and flower together?
Food and wine, and I'll be going to that. I'm going down to Disney the 7th and the 8th. So I'll be going to that on the 7th. So I'll take pictures there.
Wrestler.
Are you
I see. We have a super chat. Homes around the villages, which is Ira Miller. Ira, Wrestler is going to thank you in the most sincere way for your $10 super chat.
Thank you, Ira. We really appreciate your $10 donation. We love you. We miss you. I hope everything's okay with your head. I'm sorry, I mean your neck. And
Well, if he's watching this right now, there's nothing that's right with his head.
that's true too, yes. So thank you very much, Ira. And it says that you have to go. So again, thank you very much for visiting. We appreciate it. We appreciate you and all the free information you give us. It's wonderful. Thank you. Oh, Skip, come on.
Thanks, Ira. Here's one for you, buddy. Yeah, I saw him on his live the other day. I was taking a break from editing and all that, and he had a neck brace on. It wasn't on very tight or anything. And that's the first I'd heard about him having any kind of surgery. I felt bad, like I because I would have told Sue, and then Sue would have sent him some flowers or something, Yeah. But I didn't know until I seen that the other day.
Yeah, I think it was a little tight though, because he was talking like this.
Was he?
No, not really.
Oh.
But he
I'll say maybe he was drunk again.
That could be. He was probably pretty high on pain pills.
Hey, by the way, Ira, if you're not going to take all them pain pills, I'll buy them from you.
There you go.
Oh, good Lord. Stop it. I'm going to get arrested.
Yeah.
What else we got? We got some more something here. Where we at? Have I showed this one?
No, not yet.
No,
Oh,
it's got music to it too. Can you do the music?
If I do the music, you can't talk. I take all the stuff out.
Well,
Oh, here. Well, let's go back up here then. We'll do that.
yeah.
Okay, Mickey.
That's a good picture with the golf ball in the back.
Mm-hmm. That's not the golf ball, but that's an epic.
Everybody calls it the golf ball.
I know they do.
Mickey's balls.
It's their tribute to the villages.
There you go.
Speaking of balls, Phil B said on the next Patreons, he's going to be soaking his nuts so he can make the fudge. I think for if somebody that's willing to go that far for a Patreon launch deserves an applause from us. Thank you, Phil, for soaking your nuts for us.
Soak them nuts. Judy's like, oh God. Well, just so you know, Judy.
Yeah.
Music, outside music. Unfortunately, YouTube really doesn't like that.
Oh, that's true. They
Yeah.
don't. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we get monetized. They get their pennies in a wad.
Yeah, they do.
So what's that?
And it's a picture that is not landscape, but I told you I took those pictures before I knew they were going to be on your show.
You should always take pictures the other way.
Okay. Landscape.
And what's that?
That's Mickey and Minnie and one of the baby ducks.
And we got one more.
And that's Timba.
Oh,
Timba.
Timba. Yeah, Timba.
Yeah.
I thought it was Pumbaa.
Timon.
That's what it is.
Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah.
Pumbaa. Timon and Pumbaa, yeah.
And we were talking about the hogs, the wild hogs that are here in the villages that are in the Chitty Chatty Preserve. And they were talking about how they have tusks and everything and their teeth are all weird. So I guess those hogs are like Timba.
Huh.
The same thing. Does that
I
sound
heard
right?
they've been having trouble with them down there. Have you seen any around?
Well, they probably wouldn't come over on this side. It would be over on the side where the preserve is, where the walking trail is. Over, where the bigger pond for Aiken is. But I mean, I think people have seen them. Did you know we had a bear over here in Chitty Chatty?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they're really frequent here. Truly, you wouldn't think so, but we've seen a couple. Well, it was a whole family going down 466 once.
Judy.
Yeah,
A bear,
One down the highway.
yeah, a bear what?
A BEAR. A grrr.
Okay, and you got a couple of videos. I think I showed one. Where's that? Oh yeah, Jiminy Cricket. I showed on the last show. Was you there, Judy, about the Jiminy Cricket on the new movie coming out? The new Jiminy Cricket?
No, I didn't know about that.
Oh, I thought you was there. But anyway, I don't have it here right now. The new Jiminy Cricket is eerie.
Oh, it's going to be scary?
I think so. He's weird.
Yeah. Well, that was
Really, I love Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah, I looked that up. That's actually one of the concepts. It might not be the final version.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Good. I hope they change it because he doesn't look friendly at all.
Who is the producer or the director of this?
I don't know.
It's
Disney.
It's not the director that did a lot of stuff with Johnny Depp, and he kind of did like The Nightmare Before
Tim,
Christmas.
yes.
Tim
Oh.
Burton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I could see him doing something kind of off the wall.
Yeah.
Maybe they should make me the director. Let me do it.
Oh God.
oh, we're talking dark here.
I could be bought cheap. All right,
Well,
what's
you know,
this?
Okay, this was just a scene that I did over the like they're in Epcot of all the flowers. Those are all flowers that are designed out at the Flower and Garden Show. Was it pretty? And that's Cinderella. And that was at Magic Kingdom. And then here's some other princesses. And there's that 35-year-old woman that kept getting in the way.
Yeah.
She looks very excited.
Really?
She was very irritating. I guess she doesn't have a life. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, by the way, did you know one of their secrets? When they say "Have a Disney Day," that means
probably.
That means F you.
Yeah, it's just like bless you in the South.
Oh, I'm gonna try that. I am gonna try that.
Wait a minute. Run that by me again.
When a very difficult person comes up and they, make a scene or whatever, at the end, usually the cast member will say, "And have a Disney day."
Yeah.
That means F you.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that code for, you've done something wrong and so they just look at you and go, "Have a Disney day"?
Yes.
Well, they're being difficult customers.
Oh, I'm remembering that.
I was going to say, how many times have you heard that?
I don't know. But Judy will be hearing it from me a lot.
I was going to say it to you.
Have a Disney day. You got one more. Where is it? No, a couple more.
Your heart, Skip.
Have a Disney day, Judy.
Oh, bless your heart. There's that woman.
She's getting into it. That's great.
I know.
Looks like it just rained.
It did. Oh, there was some horrible rain that day.
I can remember going down there with the kids when it rained like that, and everybody was scampering to find a building that we could get in. And I kept hoping to find a restaurant. We'd go in there and sit down while it was raining. It's funny, when it starts to rain, there's never a restaurant around. Hey, Mickey. Oh, boy. And you sent me some pictures of a thunderstorm down at your neck of the woods.
Yeah, this was from my lanai. And this lightning went on for about an hour.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was going sideways.
Can you imagine having a solar tube when that thing's going off? That would be so cool inside the house.
You know that when we first moved down here, there's something about the thunderstorms here that's different than up north. To me anyway, they seem louder and they seem closer to the ground.
Well, I think Florida has the #1 number of lightning strikes of any place. I don't know if it's in the United States or in the world, but they're up there on the number.
Yeah, it's up. Matter of fact, the last rocket launch was postponed because of something like 5 lightning strikes around the rocket. Or 3, or whatever it was. It was more than one.
When we had the 3 or 4 inches of rain a couple of nights ago, so a lightning hit like right here in Chitty Chatty, like somebody took a video of it, and it was like you could just see the total lightning all the way to the ground.
Okay, before we get to the game, we're going to do a game here. We're getting right there. Everybody take a little bit of a break. WrestleMania, healthy home cooking. WrestleMania, light up your cigarettes, healthy home cooking, get your cigar and chewing tobacco out.
Hello, Craig Morrison here. You may have seen me on a few of the Skip Smith Wednesday Night Live shows. I'm coming to you with a message specifically for those of you turning 65. Now, you're probably dreading that process of Medicare and Part B enrollment, etc. But I wanted to make sure that you knew that unlike your past experiences with health insurance where your employer was paying for it and every year you had an open enrollment and everything was automatic, these decisions actually, they lie squarely on your shoulders. So I want to give you a warning. There's going to be some people trying to help you. In fact, your mailbox is going to be full of stuff. And you're going to get telemarketers calling you all hours of the night. Now, do you really want to have to put up with that chaos? You do have an alternative. Before I go into who we are, what we do, and all that boring stuff, I wanted to let you know that the most appropriate way of making this decision is probably for me to get to know you a little bit better and what your needs are. No two people are the same in regards to what they're looking for in a Medicare or a health insurance policy. And the way we do it is we evaluate your self-expressed needs. In other words, we interview you, then we give you a side-by-side comparison of several different options from which to choose. Things like co-pays, co-insurance, maximum out-of-pocket costs, premiums, Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, Part D plans, etc. My name is Craig Morrison. I sell health insurance. Do you want to know more?
You gotta quit calling me here. My wife's. Oh, I gotta go. Okay.
It's your girlfriend again.
Oh, Barbara.
Was it your girlfriend?
There you go.
Yeah.
Barbara Ebner, welcome to the appreciation level.
Hey, Barbara. Thanks for joining. We've only got one new member this time, right? Just one. Every show I'd like to get 10. I'm well on my way.
29 more to go and what?
9 minutes.
9 minutes, yeah.
Well, I think we're going to play a game. So everybody, you know the routine by now. Pick me, pick me, pick me. Let me know when you got a player.
I got mine.
I got mine.
Since I didn't see it, am I playing or not?
Yeah, you're playing.
Okay.
She can't help you though because she's been to the website.
Yeah.
Hey,
I got
He
mine.
has-
Oh, we all got them? Okay. Let me turn this down. Okay, I think what we're going to do here, I think.
Uh-oh. He's thinking.
Well, it's always about scoring. How do you play the game and then the score? You know, the scores, the game's one thing, the scoring is another. And I just like to make it as competitive as possible. Matter of fact, if I could get the girls to have a cat fight in one of these games, I'd feel like I succeeded.
it'll be hard to have a cat fight in different houses.
Hey, let me tell you what happened today, Judy. I mean, this is how these women are. I don't really care. She says at 10:30 this morning, maybe it's a little after 10. She says, I'm going to go to ladies' lunch today. I don't care. So she leaves. She comes home around 4:30-ish.
What's not?
How the hell long is ladies' lunch anymore? 6 hours?
She went shopping.
Well, she brings home a bucket of chicken because she knows I like KFC. She brings home a bucket of chicken, extra crispy. I like that. Way late. Phil B. done brought me smoked chicken wings to the house by then, and I done ate all of that.
Well, now you got chicken for tomorrow when she goes again.
They're trying to kill me with cholesterol. That's what they're trying to do. Okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do the ding. No, not the ding ding. Use your name. Use your name because sometimes I can't tell one ding ding from another. Sue a ding, but I think it's Judy and back and forth. And you're all dingy and I can't pick one out. So use your name as a bell. I'll read the question. First one gets to try to answer. And then, number two, if you got an answer, fine. But after a certain amount of seconds, I'm just going to call it and we're going to move on to another game because we could guess all day long.
Now, are these riddles or are they actual questions?
Well, I'm getting to it.
Oh,
I sent him 2 sites.
Oh.
One
Yeah.
had multiple choice questions and the other one didn't.
gotcha.
Now, this one here is, I don't think these are riddles. I suppose they could be, but I don't think so. They're basically, these are kind of riddle answers. It is.
Okay.
It'll be a question, but the answer may not be typical of what you think that question is. You'll catch on after one or two questions. Okay, here's the first question. Listen good. Who's keeping score?
Judy.
Healthy home cooking. You keep score. You're not doing.
That's a good. Yeah. Okay, she's not playing, so.
Yeah, you're not playing.
I already wrote it down.
Okay. Here's the so-called question. I am dirty. I love being filled with wood, but someone only goes down on me once a year. What am I?
A chimney. Ding, 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 ding. A chimney.
Good
Oh,
job.
God.
Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute, I got to find my things there. That's correct. You're correct. The chimney.
Awesome.
I can hear him out there now going, this channel's going to the dogs. I'm just going to unsubscribe and leave.
Okay,
Why
so,
respond to the dogs?
so chimney, fireplace, that all would
All
have
right,
been.
question number 2. What is the best part of your body to put into a pie?
Sue, Sue, Sue.
Yeah.
Your mouth.
Well, yeah. The answer is your teeth, but that's the same thing.
Yep.
Number 3. I come with a great pair, and people love to eat me. What am I?
Where did you get this?
Healthy home cooking gave them to me.
Oh, okay. Now say that again.
Okay. Number 3. I come with a great pair, and people love to eat me. What am I?
Judy,
Go ahead, Judy.
is it a chicken? And they come with a great pair of legs?
Good
Oh,
guess.
well.
There's probably could be a lot of answers to this, but that's not the correct answer.
I don't.
Wrestler, you ain't got a guess at all?
I do, but I know it's not the answer.
You don't know. Just throw it out there. You got to have a guess.
Aren't you?
Sue?
I would say a
Say it.
dessert, but yeah.
I don't have
A
any
great
idea.
pair of what?
No, I was going to say dessert.
A great pair of dessert.
Well, no.
Does that
pear.
make any sense to you?
Pear.
Healthy? Just smack him now. You got a guess, Sue?
I don't know.
Lobster. Great pair of claws.
Well,
Ah.
my answer was kind of similar to that.
Yeah. Number 4. So what are you trying to say? You get half a point or something because you got an answer that's kind of like that?
Well, I was closer than anybody else.
Yeah. Aren't you a retired school teacher?
I am.
Would you give a kid a grade for giving an answer that's not the answer, but if he could say it's the same thing as?
Yeah, 2
If
plus
it was
2 is
something
5.
like
That's
that,
right.
that was close to it, and I could see his thought process was in the right
Well,
direction.
you don't want, I almost had a game where I was going to have Pennsylvania against Georgia. 10 questions. 5 questions from you about Pennsylvania and what you know about Pennsylvania, and 5 questions from him to answer what he may know about Georgia. But then I got to thinking, I couldn't find 5 questions about Georgia at all.
I like Karen's answer the best. Mountain oysters.
Yeah. See, there could be a lot of answers to that, but that was the answer that was in the book, so to speak. Okay, number 4. I grow in a bed, first white, then red. And the plumper I get, the better women like me. What am I?
Judy,
Judy?
strawberries.
That's correct.
Very good.
Well done. See, my mind just kind of goes elsewhere first, and then I have to back up.
Number 5. What is something that people keep in their trousers that their partner love to blow? Sue?
Money.
Correct. See, I told you to get the hang of it.
You
I
haven't
personally-
gotten the hang of
I
it.
haven't got
Yeah.
hang of it
Yeah.
yet.
My favorite is the questions. I like the questions myself. Okay, now the next 5 is going to be a little different.
Oh.
But you'll get the hang of it.
Okay.
So what are 2 things you can never eat for breakfast?
Judy,
Judy.
lunch and dinner.
That's correct.
Very good. Very good.
Nice.
Number 7 is what is always coming but never arrives.
Shut up.
Something I want to say, but I can't.
Oh, come on. You can say it. You can say it.
I know.
Go ahead.
It's about you.
Go. You've been to Disney World. You've already seen it all. You've lived your life. It doesn't matter. It don't make no difference anymore. Just go.
I was going to say the same thing as Reagan, but that doesn't. But tomorrow does come.
What is always coming but never arrives.
There's always another tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Thanks for explaining that to him, Healthy.
Yes.
No problem.
Because that was the first thing in my head. I thought, no, but that doesn't make sense because it arrives. Tomorrow does arrive. Okay.
But if tomorrow arrives, it's today.
It's today. Got it.
Okay.
Yes.
Number 8. What gets wetter the more it dries? What gets wetter the more it dries? Come on, Judy. The answer's right there.
It's not here.
For $5,000, what gets wetter before it dries?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I cheated. I glanced down, so I can't answer. But that makes perfect sense. Phil got it.
Okay, I'll do it. Judy,
What?
laundry.
Close. No? Okay.
I'm going to say no.
All right.
Well, that's my answer.
Well, how many times have you taken your dry laundry that was wetter out of the dryer?
No, I was talking about taking it out of the washer. You're taking laundry out of the washer, it's wetter before it dries.
The question is, what gets wetter the more it dries?
Oh my gosh. I know, but like I said, I looked down.
Okay, they don't know. It's called a towel.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. What goes up but never comes down?
You're bad.
WrestleMania. Clouds?
Do what?
Clouds?
Judy,
Judy?
the year.
Can I guess again?
Yes.
Like crayons, coloring, whatever. Paint. I don't know.
Sue?
Healthy, I'm with you. I'd give him that strange look too. Like, what goes up? And he says crayons.
Well, I mean, writing like art. Like painting.
Art goes up but doesn't go down.
Yeah.
But it could go down.
Me.
Sue?
Because we have like a mural, it goes up.
Bills?
Your age.
Oh.
I just got it.
Yes.
No, I was kind of close.
Here we go again. I was kind of close. My answer was kind of like that.
Well,
2
I'm saying
plus 2 is 5.
As the
It's
years
close.
go up, they don't ever come down. So like 1965, 1966, that kind of thing. So it's kind of the same thing.
And I'm going to be 29 again next month.
Well, Jack Benny was 39 forever.
That's right. Well, Sue, am I younger than you?
I'm sorry?
Oh my God, yes, she's older than dirt.
I must be going to be like 23 or 24.
Well, sure. Pick one.
Well, there's another really good answer in the chat. The village's amenity fee.
That's true.
That's true.
That is exactly true. That's a good answer.
That's a good answer.
Oh, and somebody
That's from Bill B, our old buddy Bill B.
Yes.
Somebody says taxes.
That's true too.
Our taxes actually went down in Indianapolis, our property taxes, before we moved down here. So proof it does come down if they want it to.
Skip, what was the amenity fee whenever y'all were up in?
$124.
That's
And the first house we looked at that we was going to buy, the amenity fee then was $75. But they said that we weren't old enough to buy. And that really boggles my mind when I think about them days and then today.
Yeah.
Okay. What can one catch that is not thrown? What can one catch that is not thrown?
Wrestler, go ahead.
The flu?
Correct.
Ooh,
Wow.
I was going to say fish.
I was going to say a cold.
Next one. What starts with E and ends in E, but has only one letter in it?
Judy,
Judy?
envelope.
Correct. Boy, this Georgia girl's making you Pennsylvania people look kind of bad.
And they've got the answers.
Yeah,
No, I don't have the answers.
I'm being
And-
quiet. I'm being a good girl.
So basically,
Shut up, Skip.
I'm not being a good girl.
So you're saying you've gotten all your answers from the chat? You've
No, I
been cheating.
haven't. I haven't even looked at the chat.
yeah, don't look at the chat.
I'm not
That's
looking at-
cheating.
I'm
It's just
not-
like in school when you used to tell your students, don't copy off the paper next to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. I've had a few incidents where people didn't want to be separated.
See, the problem with me, and I'm having a hard time because I have two big monitors, and I have the chat out on one over here,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so I can kind of see it out of the peripheral.
Yeah, I have the same
I'm
problem
looking up here,
sometimes.
I'm trying not to,
I've got my chat over here in this other monitor, and I blew it up so I can read it from a distance because, you know, old eyes and all that. And so I can see your point there. Okay, last question. How can a girl go 25 days without sleep?
Living with you.
Possible.
You really need to ask that?
Say the question again. I couldn't understand what you said.
How can a girl go 25 days without sleep? How can a girl go 25 days without sleep? With me.
Hey, Sue, I think
WrestleMania.
Skip is delusional.
WrestleMania?
This is going to sound dumb, but you said days.
Yes.
So she sleeps at night.
That's correct.
Very good.
All right, that's the end of that. Who won?
Right at the end, I'm getting the hang of it.
Well, the loser
Loser.
is
Hey, at least I got 8 points. Did I get 2?
and then Sue got 3, and Judy had 4.
So Judy's the winner.
Yay,
Judy's
Judy.
Yay! Yay, Judy!
What do you think?
Excuse me.
Do you want me to tell you who the winner is?
Do we have a drum roll? Last time we didn't have a drum roll. I got a drum roll now. You want to hear it?
Do the drum roll.
Okay, do a drum roll before we see the winner. It's coming. Wait a minute. Here, there it is. And the winner is
Karen Baller.
Karen Baller.
Congratulations, Karen.
Yeah.
Let me get the card down so you know I got it.
Good for you.
And Karen was in the chat messing with me going, about time, wrestler. Find me, wrestler.
There's a $100 Amazon gift card. Send me your mailing address and I'll get that mailed out to you. Actually, I'll put an envelope, my address, and I'll give it to Sue and she'll get it mailed out to you.
Congratulations, Karen.
Yeah. much super chats and super stickers we get tonight? Does anybody keep track of that?
No.
I didn't.
Okay, I didn't either. I'll look it up later. That way I can give them an idea how much next month's prices will be. I see at least 20, 40, 50, 55, 55, 60. I don't know if there's any more than that or not.
He's going to dock my pay.
So next month the price may only be $55 or $50, whatever it is. So there might be more super chats than that. I don't know. I have to check after the end of the show. All right.
There's like $1 million.
$1 million. Boy, I tell you what, let me get $1 million of super chats and this show is over. Right? All right, I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank the guests for coming. I hope you got enough information from the guests to make your own decisions about what you think, because, you know, everybody's got their own ideas about what to invest in, what to buy. I can't tell anybody what to buy or how to buy or whatever. Whatever makes you sleep at night, that's what I always say. With me,
watch them at the theater.
Huh?
I said, and if you're curious, go watch them at the theater.
Yeah, they're going to be at the theater. When did he say? Friday and Saturday this week?
Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, you can always go down there and shake a hand, watch a free movie, get some popcorn, and ask a couple questions if you got any. And like I say, use your own judgment.
Ask them some of the questions that were in the game.
Chat.
The game.
Oh,
yeah.
the game.
And see if you get an answer.
yeah, probably out the
That
door.
was the big question.
Yeah, it was a little foggy for me. I mean, really. I mean, I'm not a financial genius, so it was a little foggy.
I have some accounts with T. Rowe Price, and they don't act like that. You know, they're not like, you know, that you get statements, and it's with T. Rowe Price, and you know where it is.
The thing that I have a problem with these kind of corporate people like that, and I'm working with UPS, I used to hear this all the time in the office. They talk corporate lingo. And if you're not in that business, you don't understand the lingo. They think they're talking language to you, and they're using phrases, and you're walking away going, what the hell did he say? I don't even know what he said.
But that's true in every industry. I know. Like,
it is.
By law, they're limited as to what they can say. I understand that part. So.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get out of here.
Okay, and thank you very much. And I'm gonna plug myself a little bit.
Oh yeah, WrestleMania and Healthy Home Cooking. They have their own channel, and you go ahead, buddy. You go plugging.
Okay.
Watch his.
Yeah, and hers. But I do have some really interesting stuff coming up about Maine. Now the next one is an unboxing, but then after that, I start my videos on our Maine excursion to Maine. Adventures to Maine, yes. So there's a whole series on that. And Luann has, again, a whole bunch of new stuff coming out. You know, a lot of recipe stuff, a lot of wineries, a lot of unboxing things that will be useful in the home to help make the home healthier and all that good stuff. So a lot of stuff coming up.
Great.
So
some of those recipes.
Yes, lots and lots of and I'm talking good stuff too. So.
I mean, I've never been to Maine, so I'm curious to see what's going on.
Maine is beautiful.
They got a lot of moose up there.
It was gorgeous.
Where did
all up the East Coast.
Because I went to Bar Harbor and I went.
Yeah, we were there too.
Around Acadia and all. It was really pretty.
Yes.
Yeah.
As far as we got.
All right, we're done. We're done.
Thank you.
We done advertised everything we got to advertise. Keep buying them T-shirts for the kids. I got some ideas about some other things to raise some money on, and I'll keep in contact with everybody. I know I'm not putting out any videos right now, but anyway, just be patient, and we'll get around to that again. So with that being said, everybody say goodbye.
Thank you, moderators. Moderators. Yes.
Thank you, moderators. All of the moderators.
Yes.
Jerry Bell, Kevin.
Phil.
WrestleMania is usually here, but he's not here.
No.
And
last game, not here.
Linda was on there. She's a moderator.
Yeah.
Yes.
What other moderator was on there?
Phil.
I know there was a bunch.
Kevin.
Jerry Bell.
I said Kevin.
Carol.
Okay.
Phil Beard. Carol.
Marcia.
Phil Beer was on there.
Yep.
Thanks, Phil, for the chicken wings. I already ate them.
Tammy Ferguson.
Yep, Carol, Sabby Ferguson, Phil.
We had a lot.
Marsha, Marsha.
Marsha, yeah, was on there. So thanks all the moderators because they kind of keep things. Yeah, they kind of keep everything together. So I'm looking for last minute super chats before we take off. I don't see any. Okay, we're out of here. Everybody, thanks so much. We'll say bye. See you next month.
See you on the other side.
Probably Linda in this spot. We're not sure yet, but probably Linda in this spot. We'll see.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
I've never been known for my cautious side. You should know that I'm well aware. I don't want anything left untried. Will you come with me, mon cher? So let us just do my love and not stop thinking of this over. So let us just do my love and see where this road will take us now. It's not that you're timid, no one could say. Choosing to walk with the gale. What shall we call us? Hobos per se. We'll find that out on the way. So let us just do my love and not stop thinking of this over. Let us just do my love and see where this road will take us now. I've never been known for my cautious side. I know the wind that I stir is a gale. So let us just do my love and not stop thinking of this over.